there's a new responsibility put on the audience where it's almost like they have to kind of take that extra step and be like, okay, I don't know if what I'm reading right now is accurate or not, which personally, like, I kind of think that that's sad in a sense that they can't just automatically trust what's being fed to them.
Well, as part of National Literacy Week, News Literacy Week, we're taking a look at the rise of misinformation on social media and even in some news sources.
So our Justin Pizzera had some time, and he took a lot of time. This is great, talking with journalism students to learn more about their hopes for the next generation of journalists.
We are in the social media age. Our children and grandchildren growing up with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The internet provides them with content 24/7.
I'm wary of social media because there's always that chance that there's this story that looks credible, but it's really not. So I also start fact checking.
But does their elevated time online provide them with the skills to identify misinformation?
There's a new responsibility put on the audience where it's almost like they have to kind of take that extra step and be like, okay, I don't know if what I'm reading right now is accurate or not.
Does this next generation of Americans understand what fake news is and where it's coming from?
If something has a very politicized name, if something has a lot of, very aggressive words or things that are meant to make you feel an emotion, that usually makes me feel a little wary of it.
The fact that fake news, even as a term, has just been beaten to death over the last 4 years. And the fact that a lot of the times when people are using the term fake news, they're just referring to news that they don't like the coverage of.
We ask them how they see misinformation impacting news consumption in America and what they see online on a daily basis.
If someone doesn't trust what the New York Times is saying or something like that, they can just go on the internet and find something that says the exact opposite in, 2 seconds. And so when people lose trust now, there's so much stuff that's telling them that they're right to lose trust and that here's what actually happened and stuff, that it's really hard to gain their trust back, much harder than I think it used to be.
They also brought up a very important part of our country's landscape, rural communities.
You think about the talk of in a lot of rural communities, particularly in the southern part of the United States, there's a huge distrust for the media there. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, and how can you blame those people? The people that they see reporting for those big news agencies are nothing like them at all.
So do these future journalists think we can change this culture of fake news?
If we can come back from this or not is how polarized our country is politically. Because right now we're very divided, and that mistrust in each other carries over into the news as well.
And what do they hope to bring to the table once they become the faces you see on the news every night?
This upcoming generation of journalists have kind of grown up with the notion of fake news and know how serious it can be. The people who are in school now and have kind of grown up with this notion of okay, this is a real issue and the media has been damaged and our reputation has been damaged. I think it might kind of reinforce the idea of how important it is to combat this and truly take measures to stop this.
Well, I will say the future of journalism looks bright if these young students are in charge. So well-spoken and so smart. We want to bring you into the conversation about misinformation as well and how to spot it. Tomorrow at noon, we're holding a virtual town hall. You can email your questions right now to share@abc15.com.